Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Fuck Christmas. Did I start it out?
There we go. YouTube seemed to be lagging on me.
Yeah, it was lagging here as well.
So, it is Energy Conservation Day, which means that I just shouldn't have gotten out of bed, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's what I did yesterday.
Get out of bed? Why do you keep doing that?
Yeah, I know. I stayed in bed most of the day yesterday because my schedule's been so screwed up. I haven't been falling asleep before sunrise. No, actually, that was the day before yesterday. I stayed in bed. Yeah, yesterday I actually got out. I went and got our prescriptions and important things like that because we were supposed to be getting snow. I was supposed to be worrying about driving out there, but it's like, what we got's not significant.
No whining. It's better to be ready.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I am ready, but I could still ride a bicycle in what's out there now.
Well, sorry, the point is that you're ready. And the weather is going to be very unpredictable. Nothing is average anymore.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, that since we moved back here, the winters have not been at all the averages that they had been for the last 20, 30 years.
No, not here either.
Yeah, we have not gotten nearly the amount of snow that they've been predicting every year.
The last year I remember for proper snow was 2008 when I was still in Milwaukee. And we got more than our usual for winter. We got 125 inches for the winter, which is almost double. Normal 65.
And it's like the 2 winters I've been back here, people have been saying, this is great. We hardly had any snow. But they don't make the connection that that's also why in July we keep having a drought. Because if we don't get the snow accumulation, we don't get the aquifers refilled from the spring runoff.
Yeah, farmers need the winter. All the fields are brown around here today.
This last July, the county was actually asking people to shower less often.
What's your temperature around there today?
Temperature?
Yep.
Well, I think we're hovering something around the freezing mark. Let me take a quick look here. Yeah, it's saying 34 right now.
Yeah, we're about to hit 40. We hit 40 yesterday.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have a drop here around Friday, so it'll be about 10 degrees less. Jesus. Today's registering as a high of 79.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing here. That Saturday we're going to drop about 15 degrees, and then by Monday, Tuesday we're going to be down in the single digits.
Yeah, that's what they're saying for here too.
Let's see.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Looks like for me Sunday is going to be the coldest, at averaging 64 at high and a 47 at low.
Okay, and let's see who's in the side chat here. Commander 401 was around. He's gonna come back later. We've got Doc Fearsome, Angie, Greg. Sloth Girl is already throwing the jokes out there. And Alias Fake Name, which I still believe is one of the best names on the internet.
Because ruts are dirty, grooves are cool.
Okay.
Hi,
I guess that
Angie.
wasn't- I thought I was setting up for a joke, but I guess it wasn't there.
Nope. Hi, Angie. Hi, Greg. Hi, Doc. Hi, Commander.
Okay, but a groove is on purpose and a rut is by accident. So basically, that makes the rut a weed.
No, a groove is something that we manufacture, something we create.
Right. No, that's what Angie's saying. That a groove is something
Oh.
that was made on purpose. A rut
Okay,
is
yeah,
something
all right.
that was
I'll
an
buy
accident.
that. And then, of course, you got, wow, that bastard is lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut. Nobody likes it. Fine.
Oh. And kitty cat here. Sammy is feeling neglected, so he's trying to butt the keyboard out of my lap again.
Yeah.
You know, you grab that sucker by the tail, spin him around a few times, and toss him at the wall. He'll stop that crap.
You're horrible.
Don't do that. No, I just say things like that. I never do them.
I know. You know,
Although
after all the house.
someone attacking my daughter like that one woman on that video, I would certainly do something like that.
Well, yeah, if an animal's coming at you, you have to do whatever you have to. But
how horrible for that little girl. God.
I didn't see the video. I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
She's coming out her front door, obviously, to go to school. She's got her backpack, you know, and stuff, that kind of stuff.
Oh, the one where the raccoon's attacking the little girl.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's any more than what, about 7, 8 years old. And she just starts, this raccoon, obviously rabid, just comes up and starts ripping her apart at the feet and legs.
Yeah.
And she's screaming, holy hell. Her mom comes out still in her bathrobe and stuff and grabs the raccoon by the neck. And after getting a good position and standing, she tosses the thing out to her front yard.
I've seen that.
It's a good 15, 20 feet.
Okay, yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, I commented I would have killed the raccoon just because it was not at normal behavior and could have attacked somebody else or the kid again.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're busy trying to save your daughter. You don't think about everything.
Yeah, but there's definitely something wrong with that raccoon because they normally will not attack something that's bigger than they are when they're alone.
Yeah, I heard a follow-up. Both mom and daughter ended up started the rabies series.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, you know, sometimes raccoons will attack in groups, and 5 or 6 of them will take on a dog that's bigger than they are, but they would never try it alone.
They have to feel threatened. Yeah, this raccoon hits you all by itself. All of a sudden, guaranteed that thing's rabid.
Yep.
When I was young, I was actually chased by a raccoon, but that was a very different story. That raccoon was actually the neighbor's pet, and he was just playing with me. But he was just playing too rough.
Yeah. But raccoons are not the cute, fluffy things that most people think they are. They are conniving and vicious.
Nothing is. I mean, a little pretty little gentle squirrel can rip you apart. You know, the bite marks aren't too big, but there's lots of them, and they hurt.
But raccoons tend to travel and hunt as family packs. So when you see one, there's usually at least 5 or 6 of them around, and they're just spread out searching. If they start making that high chattering noise, they're calling for reinforcements. Yeah, I had a couple of encounters with wild raccoons up in the woods in Michigan.
We've got a number of fox that live in town under people's porches and stuff. We mostly get along, but you know, they get rabies too sometimes.
Hey, Commander. There we go. Sloth Girl understands what the day's about. I'm doing my part to conserve energy, sitting on my ass in my chair.
I had a nice anxiety dream to wake up to this morning, so that got
Sorry.
me up.
Well, I actually wound up. I was falling asleep during Granny's stream last night by 8 o'clock. So I just went to bed early, but then I was, I slept, I got maybe 5 hours sleep, but then I was up again well before sunrise and couldn't get back to sleep.
I slept pretty good last night. I just exhausted the hell out of myself yesterday at the shrink's office. It was my annual Christmas meltdown series.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got something done. I got the started to get the schedule for the Christmas marathon organized on a YouTube calendar.
Yeah, you said 5 a.m. What day?
Well, on the 24th, because 5 a.m. on the 24th is the beginning of Christmas Day in Samoa and New Zealand.
They're ahead of us.
Yeah.
5 a.m. here on Christmas Day.
Yeah, when it's midnight here, it's tomorrow afternoon there.
Yeah, so if you're starting at 5 a.m.
Yeah, they're like 7 hours ahead.
No, absolutely not. They're more like 13, 15 hours ahead. Let me go look.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is. It is like 13 hours, yeah. Hey, Sandy. Okay, Angie, can you teach me? I've never been good at it. It's something they always ask parents about the baby, about, when did they start sleeping through the night? Yeah, I don't think that's happened to me yet.
I was always a terrible sleeper when I was little. Still am.
Sandy, honey.
Yep.
The bird means Mage. That's me over here. Hello.
Okay, Greg says Sydney's 16 hours ahead. Yeah, I knew that too. That the people in Australia I talked to are all 13 to 15 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, so if we're gonna go at 5 a.m. Christmas Day, it's already it's already like Christmas night.
Yeah, well, it's the first stroke of midnight for Christmas Day.
No, it's not. If we start on 5 a.m. at the 25th, it is already the 26th there.
Yeah, we're starting at 5 a.m. on the 24th.
Okay, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
Not in your notes you sent around to me. So 12/4/22 5 a.m. Central.
Yep.
Okay. I'll since it's a special day, I'll be sure to be on camera and naked. Well, I'll wear my Santa hat, but other than that. What, did I kill everybody with that comment?
No. Nope, sorry. I'm just trying to keep up with the side chat.
So is it me, or has the Republican cabal or clique or circus gone absolutely insane since the election? I mean, not just crazy like usual, but they are just like going insane. They're just all over the place saying all these horrible, terrible things and lying to beat the band. It's
Yeah.
like a
Well,
full
they know they're
frontal
losing
attack.
control.
Seems normal to me.
No,
Runs for
they're
them.
panicking because they didn't win as many seats as they expected to. They thought they were going to be in complete control of Congress and be able to do everything they wanted. And since they didn't win control of the Senate, they're panicking.
Well, they're going after Hunter, baby. What they keep forgetting though is all the stuff that they say Hunter Biden went through, and that his dad helped him. His dad was a private citizen at the time and could do anything he wanted. Yeah. So what's the issue here?
As opposed to if we looked into things that Ivanka and Don Jr. did while Trump was in office.
Yeah, what is it? Jared got $2 billion from the Saudis.
I mean, for God's sake, Ivanka did that Goya ad right from the White House. You know, it's like, yeah. It specifically says that you can't use your office for personal gain.
Yep. But they're the Trumps. They get to break all the rules.
Or the stuff that Trump did himself while he was running.
I can't wait till Monday. That's the final meeting of the January 6th committee in Congress, in the House. And they're going to be releasing their findings and whether or not little Donnie boy should be brought up on charges. So I'm got my fingers crossed on that one.
Crossing fingers.
Yeah, that's going to be explosive no matter what they say. Oh, they really need to get him on something. I mean, so many things he did are obvious. I can't believe they can't find enough evidence to prosecute him for something.
Yeah.
Well, he's his own worst enemy. He says stupid things all the time that are even prosecutable. But he's been in the con for a long time, and he's gotten very good at it. And that tells me that he's generally should be somebody who knows when not to say what. You know, like any good organized crime boss.
I have to feel that he just has, information that he could potentially blackmail a bunch of people in Congress.
Yeah. Well, if anything's going to bring him down, I think it's going to be all those documents.
Yeah, having the classified and top secret documents at his private residence after he was out of office.
And I haven't met the person yet who doesn't think he sold them to Russia or the Saudis or various other sources.
And a lot of people don't understand the full magnitude of that it isn't even just about the U.S. security. They had documents that were revealing the identities of foreign agents. So if he sold those to the Russians, they would be telling the Russians who our allies' agents are, who the agents from Britain and France were.
Well, and our own.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously that kind of thing's going to cause major trust issues with the countries that we depend on.
Did you catch the Face App meme that I made for Carrie Lake? Somebody had taken her picture where she's just got her mouth open or something like that. It looks like she's screaming. And they put above it Harry Carey, like the Japanese thing, HARI. And so I took that meme and I crossed out Harry and I put her face through Face App and aged her, about 30, 40 years and put a beard on her and renamed it Harry Carey as in hair.
I missed that one.
I keep sending it to her, hoping that she'll, turn me in and get me blocked or something, but not yet.
Twitter blocked me the other night. I was suspended for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Because I said that Trump should either be put in prison or executed, depending on what you think they should do to people who commit treason.
Yeah, see,
And I guess just since I used the word Trump and executed in the same post, they took it as being a threat.
Probably.
you gotta learn the trigger words and do different things with them. If you would have taken executed and typed it out as X space
Yeah.
CUTE space ED.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting how stupid bots are about context, because all I was doing is talking about what the federal government actually does to people who commit treason.
Yeah, don't count on context, count on triggers.
Just, say something like they're going to be like Alt F Ford.
Is that
So
sexy,
giddy.
Junie?
There's a little kid feeling.
Was that sexy, Junie? I just heard.
No, it's me.
Oh, kitty. I got the speakers too far away.
Yep.
It's okay.
Junie
I
don't
see it as an insult being confused with Junie. She's lovely.
Oh, she's adorable.
I know, right? Way more adorable than my cynical, jaded ass.
Oh, come on. You're gorgeous.
Well, thank you. But no, little man's doing good. I'm so proud of him, because like he'll always do the nebulizer treatments like that. I'm never worried about, but the doctor gave him an oral prednisone suspension, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, him taking oral medication's not gonna happen. But I tried it this morning, and he downed it like a bachelorette doing shots at a Chippendales. Like he took it so quick and so it was so fast, and like, it was good. Like he did it, and I was so super proud.
It's me clapping.
I was kind of wondering about that when you were saying about the medication they gave him, if he was going to have trouble taking it.
Well, I mean, fortunately, when I told the doctor that he has issues with liquid medicine, I think he made it slightly stronger so that he could take a smaller dose of it. Because like if he's taking cough medicine, it's 15 milliliters for him for the cough medicine. It was only 6 milliliters. So less than half of what he would have to for cough medicine. So he was able to down it real quick.
Yeah, that's great if they can make it more concentrated.
Yeah.
So he just needs to take the 6 milliliters twice a day, and he's Gucci. And then, do 3 breathing treatments a day. So we follow up with the pediatrician next week, and I mean, he should be fine by then. Like the thing is like of all the things it could have been, being like, croup is not the worst thing. I mean, yes, it's still a little bit of a viral infection, but considering, there's still COVID and RSV and all kinds of other nasties out there.
Definitely worse infections he could have gotten.
It's not likely to put him in the hospital.
Exactly. He's going to feel crappy for a couple of days, but he already seems to be doing a bit better after a couple breathing treatments, and like especially after the prednisone. Like he's like sitting on the dining room table now, just chilling and building Lego. So like I can tell he's feeling a bit better, because he didn't want to build Lego yesterday.
Oh, hey, let me our Lego expert, Purple.
Yeah.
I saw another one the other day, and I've only seen one before that, a JPEG pic of something somebody says is a Lego kit, but I've never seen it or seen it advertised or anything, where it's like a tribute to LGBT.
Yeah, it's a rainbow. It's like little people in a rainbow. It was one of their creative
that's a legitimate
sets.
kit.
Yeah, it was one that was exclusively sold through the Lego stores. It wasn't general retail. But yeah, Lego released that for Pride Month last summer.
Good, I want to get one of those.
I don't know if they still have any more.
The Lego store doesn't. You'd have to go through Bricklink, and I'm sure the prices are going to be significantly inflated.
Well, worth checking out anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for anything Lego, go to bricklink.com. It's
Brickland?
basically like eBay, but it's exclusively Lego.
Was it
You know,
the
there are
everyone?
thousands of people who are all selling off their private collections and such.
Was it the everyone is awesome one? Pride celebration with 11 minifigs.
I believe so.
Yeah, I didn't remember what they titled it.
Okay, well, I'll dig around. Maybe I'll find
Well, I
one.
found it on Amazon here. It's for about $50.
That's I think a little bit more than it was. I think it was only 40 on Lego Store, but like
Yeah.
it's not a significant
That's
markup.
not as bad as I thought it would be now.
Well,
Yeah, so
there's a link to it if you're
There-
interested.
There are some plastic models, airplane models, that kind of stuff, of spacecraft that I used to build when I was a kid that are going for $200-300.
my son has Lego sets that are worth that much. Like it's not a cheap hobby, but it is his passion. It is like his biggest passion in life.
Well, that's
And
why
I
was
will
in
eat
Vonrek
ramen to afford it. Like if I need to, I will skip meals and have ramen to make sure that he gets new sets and is able to do what he's passionate about.
You always want to keep your eye out for the clearance sales on Walmart and
Mhm.
Target.
Oh, absolutely. Or when Target does their Lego sales of if you spend so much money on Lego, you get like a $10 gift card.
Also,
Um,
another trick with Walmart: get their app on your phone and scan in the barcodes on the stuff, because sometimes they don't have something at clearance price.
but it's not labeled.
Yeah, it's not labeled.
Oh,
That just happened to me the other day. I was there and I saw this little faux leather jacket and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect for my niece. Originally I was like, oh, I'll get one for me, but they only had one. It was an extra small and it does fit me, but the sleeves are about 1.5 inches too short, but I can zip it up even over my chest. So I know it'll fit my 13-year-old niece just fine. And it on the Walmart website was saying that it was $45, which it's a decent jacket. So like it is actually, in my opinion, worth that. But at the Walmart I was at, when I scanned it for a price, it said $11, and I'm like, fucking bet. So I got it for $11. And then I saw this little cardigan and I was like, oh, I have the office Christmas party with Michael tomorrow, and I need, to get like a little cardigan to wear because I'm trying to figure out like what outfit I'm going to wear to the party. And I saw this little cardigan and the tag on it said $20. And I'm like, you know what? It's cute and I need something. It'll work. When I went to actually go ring it up 3 cents. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay.
What?
I wish there were more of them. Like
Just a
I
second,
only saw the
I'll be
one.
right back. Go buy another dozen.
Right.
Really?
Well, I think they have one in white, but white's not really my color. So like that, I wasn't going to wear that. But
For 3 cents, keep them in the closet, give them away as gifts.
actually, I mentioned it to my sister, and she said, "Oh, recently there was a woman that she went to Walmart and she had the app and she was scanning like everything, and like trying to find like the best deals, and she found a bunch of things that were bringing up for 3 cents, and so she loaded her cart with everything she could find, and like Walmart essentially threatened her saying, oh, well, we're going to have you thrown in jail for that. And she's like, no, she didn't even go to self-checkout. She went to an actual cashier just to cover her ass because she knew that someone might say something. But
They can't throw her in jail for that. That's on their end for
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
she took advantage of a price. Fuck them.
Exactly. It's like, and that was her thing. She was like, no, it's a you problem. If you either change it in your system so it doesn't ring up that way or take it off the shelves. I don't care, if you're going to lose money on this, like you have no legal grounds here. They were basically just trying to scare her into returning the items, but fuck Walmart, fuck the Waltons. Like any chance I get, to like,
Oh, definitely.
see something scan where it scans wrong. Well, not wrong, but where like the price is different than what it should be. Like I absolutely jump at those. Like, and I didn't even know the thing was going to ring up 3 cents. It was just a pleasant fucking surprise.
Yeah, it's like that at the kiddie pool I don't know if you've seen them in some of the videos. I have it full of dirt I used to mix dirt in.
Mhm.
and the thing was, I got that at Walmart, or the thing was labeled, I think about almost $10. And when I checked it out, it was like a $1.50.
I
Well,
bought
and-
this really nice little cover up, beach cover up for what was it? It was eight. No, it was like $3, $3 or $4, and it wasn't my size, but it was my next size down. So I bought it as see if I can lose enough weight to fit in this thing. So it just hangs there in my closet. We'll try.
Actually, here, let me go grab the jacket. I'll show you real quick because it is a really nice little jacket. And my niece is like wannabe little gothling, like Hot Topic is like her favorite place to shop. So, I mean,
Oh, that is cute.
and it's got some heft to it. And it's like I can zip it up on me. It's just short in the sleeve. So
Biker punk.
yeah, no, my niece is gonna absolutely love it. I can't wait to give it to her for Christmas.
I have not had much luck finding a woman's jacket that would fit me. So I'm trying to learn to do some alterations myself. If I can just, just take the jean jacket I have, if I could just put some darts in the side to, kind of narrow it and feminize it a bit.
I would recommend watching The Closet Historian on YouTube. She does a lot of videos on showing with darts, and she has a whole video on darts and dart manipulation and how to move things around in a pattern and make those kinds of alterations. So
Sewing with Nancy also has a series of online pattern alteration techniques and tricks and stuff.
and then this with the little like faux fur accent and the little tie here in the front. This is the cardigan that I got for 3 cents.
Oh, that's nice.
And like
Nice.
it's detachable. Like there's little buttons. Hold on, let me see if I can get closer to the camera. There's little buttons here so you can detach the faux fur if you don't want it. But yeah, so this is
Cool.
the thing that I got for 3 cents at Walmart, and I'm just like, hell yeah, because like the tag on it says $18.98, but when I scanned it in the app, it rang up for 3 pennies, and I'm like, sold. So, because like the weather's not super cold, so it doesn't really justify a heavy jacket. But with the office Christmas party being tomorrow, I was trying to find something cute to wear. Because I have to look nice for the men. Like considering Michael does work in the construction field, and it is still a rather misogynistic thing. Like when the wives are brought in, like they have to be the pretty arm candy.
Fuck that.
Yeah, well, I want Michael to get a promotion that he desperately needs, so I will play my part. I do not care.
Yeah, I get that. It just still pisses me off.
Oh, absolutely. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid, but such is the way. Like shit, there's I was just there dropping Michael off the other day, and motherfucker had a fucking Confederate flag hanging up inside of his truck, like one of the people that works there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like the woman who does HR is a lovely black woman, and I'm like, and you're going to like ride up to work like with that flag in that car when
Yeah.
you have people of color that work with you, like specifically black women, 2 of them, and you what? No, like
Well, and if she's in HR, it's inevitable that one day you're going to have to ask her a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Hey kids, I'm away from home, sitting outside in a cold car. I really have to get home into a warm space. So
Oh yes, get
yeah,
yourself
go ahead.
someplace warm.
I'll stay on and listen and stuff, but I might end up dropping carrier here. So
Yep.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, just try to join us when you get back home if possible.
I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, well,
Love you, Jenny. Mwah.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Later.
yeah, the temperatures here today are hovering right around the freezing mark.
Yeah, it's in the mid 70s here. At least it was earlier. It's probably up to 80 by now.
Maybe just mute that until she gets to this place so we're not hearing the background run.
Yep.
There.
Oh, so I am working on my backpack broke, so I need to make a new one. Well, the backpack itself didn't break, but the magnetic snap did, and it's not really, now that the bag is assembled, it's not really possible to swap out that snap, so I just kind of have to, scrap the whole thing. And I'll probably try to salvage like the zippers, at least the zipper pulls and the hardware from the bag. But the new fabric that I have, where did I put it? Is right here. So let's see if you guys think that this fabric that my bag's going to be made out of is me.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, looks like tarot cards.
Yeah, with the moon, and I love the skulls and the spiders and the cats. Like, I like spiders as a decoration. I don't like them like anywhere near me though. It's like I will wear spider web like stuff. I'll wear stuff decked out with spiders. I don't mind like fake plastic spiders, like, for Halloween decorations. None of that bothers. It's the real ones that creepy crawly.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Mm-mm. I had a very bad experience when I was a child. It was when we first moved to Florida, and we were at my aunt's place in Port Orange, and she had a pool, and everyone's sitting out back, and I see a ball floating in the pool, so I reach over to grab it, and it was one of those spiders that has thousands of baby spiders on its back, and they swarmed all over my entire body, and I had to literally be thrown in the pool and dunked underwater to get them off of me. And I was
Yeah, I
like maybe
can
4
understand
years
that.
old.
Yeah,
So
that's traumatic.
yeah, like I get very like creepy crawly. Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, that sounds like a fun experience.
Yeah, totally. 0
Well,
out of 10.
yeah. Also, where you live, you tend to get much more sizable spiders than we do up north here.
And we have these big ass like wolfy spiders that will jump on you. Like
Huntsman
they will
spiders.
full on like arachnophobia jump in your face. It's horrifying.
Are you talking about jumping spiders or the
Like
wolf?
the big ones, the ones that
Oh.
are like that big around with
Oh,
their
they-
legs span.
I haven't seen them jump on people before.
I had one jump in my face. I nearly
Really?
fucking shat my soul out of my nose, like anime style.
Oh, they're pretty harmless too.
We
They're
get a
pretty
few
gentle.
big ones around here, but not many.
I used to have one. I used to have one that would hang out behind my bedpost.
Now, daddy long legs, I don't mind. They're the only like arachnid that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, the
Like I
regular house
actually
spider.
I have like a daddy long legs that lives up in the corner in my bathroom, and I mean I could sweep him away, but like he eats any bugs that get in the house.
Yeah.
So like we have an agreement, he stays in that corner and like doesn't come in the rest of the house because like it's the bathroom over here actually has a door to the backyard, so it's an exterior door, and sometimes bugs will come in. Like they'll like either crawl under it or what have you. So the daddy long legs is there, like home defense. Those don't bother me.
Well, if he's making a web that's not actually a daddy long legs, it's something else.
Well, daddy longlegs isn't really a specific species. It's just
Yeah, they're just like the house spider with the long legs.
yeah. It's
that
just a house spider.
they make the little cobby web type webs.
Well, what
I got a bunch of them in my
commonly
house.
called the daddy long legs isn't actually even a spider; it's a predatory mite.
Well, there are a number of different species. Some aren't actual
We need
spiders.
Bree. Where's Bree when we need her?
No, I can tell you, it's actually a common name for a lot of different in species. Some spiders, some aren't. It's not really a specific species.
Okay, maybe a regional thing, what they're considered.
Although
Yeah,
I did
probably
have a
regional.
brown recluse bite my face a couple years ago. That was fun. I
Oh.
had a little hole on my face for a while.
I had
Um,
a cousin who got bit by a brown recluse on I think their ankle.
yeah, basically, I mean, brown recluse aren't usually very common in Florida, but it happened shortly after we got the Christmas tree a few years ago, and we do real trees, so I think it just happened to have like been on the tree, and I'm just glad that it bit me and not my son.
I-
But I did. I had to go to the hospital. They gave me antibiotics and a tetanus shot, and like I had to keep a little cream on it.
I was watching a video from gardens in Canada, talking about all the pros of having a real tree and how they're actually beneficial to the environment to grow.
I mean, I see them
Okay,
as like really any other crop.
I would watch that to see what he says, but I'm skeptical about them claiming that. Oh, sorry. I'm skeptical about them claiming that they're actually beneficial.
Yeah, it's because they grow in areas of land where there tend to be the soil, well, the nutrient tends to be deficient in the soil, so they help with erosion and help
Okay.
to bring soil life back to the area.
Okay, helping with erosion is definitely a valid point for any type of tree. The roots do tend to keep things from getting washed away in heavy rains.
And they tend to be good accumulators for carbon in the atmosphere, especially when they're first just growing.
Yeah,
so
but
they made a lot of good points, really.
Okay, the carbon thing they get on all the time, but the carbon thing's a very temporary thing. It's only storing the carbon until you cut the tree down, and then all that carbon gets returned to the system again.
I'm not sure if all of it would be returned.
Yeah, because I mean, don't trees essentially turn CO2 into O2?
Yeah, usually the carbon would be if it's being mulched or broken down, it could go back into the soil where it can be fed to other plants.
Well, it depends what you're doing with it afterwards. A
Yeah,
lot
it
of them
depends
get
on-
burned, and that just releases it
Yeah,
right
that
back
would-
into the atmosphere.
Yeah, that would release it, but
I actually have a little Christmas tree spot in my backyard. It's kind of like a tree graveyard where at the end of the year it goes off to the corner of the yard where there's some like overgrowth and woods and stuff like that. And basically it's just there so that eventually it will, return to the earth, so to speak. At least that's what I do with my Christmas trees. I'll cut a chunk off of them to save, like to make an ornament or something with, and then for the most part they have their own little tree graveyard in my backyard.
yeah, I think my only issue with using Christmas trees is mulch or compost or whatnot. That would be if they were sprayed with something.
Yeah.
If they're sprayed with insecticides or herbicides or something, whatever it is that they do to treat the tree might be an issue.
Well, I'm not mulching or composting it. It's literally just I have like a slightly wooded area on the edge of our property where there's some trees and there's just some overgrowth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a little overgrowth spot in my yard that I just throw stuff in.
Exactly, and that's where my trees go
Yeah, well, that
at
is
the end of the year.
composting.
Yeah, effectively is composting, but
If you just leave it out there for the weather to do its job, that's composting it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm not then taking it and putting it somewhere else is kind of my point.
Yeah.
I'm just letting it live there. To me, like when I think of composting, I think of making, essentially usable soil to use in your garden.
Yep. Yeah, Sloth Girl's going to be finishing up her round of chemo by the end of the month here.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
good.
amazing. I'm so happy for you, honey.
Well, then we're just, taking a break from it while they reassess how effective it was and what they should do next.
Well, I hope for the best. My mother had cancer, and she had to go through chemo. Like, she actually went through a couple of different kinds of chemo. First, they had a port, and she was getting it that way. And then she started spiking super high fevers and had a bad reaction to it. So they changed her from that to like a pill. And the pill, they wanted fucking like $20,000 for a 2-week treatment. And my mom's
Yeah.
like, okay, guess I'll die then. But the nurses at
You're
the
roboting really bad. there.
Doesn't
Yeah. Sorry, Jenny. Yeah, that's Sloth Girl's got the port in her chest that they put the stuff in through.
and so they did the
Well-
pills, and there was a program to help basically cover it, like a grant or whatever. So my mom was able to get the pills, and then they did something called HIPEC, heated intraperitoneal chemotherapy or whatever, where they basically put her on a tilting table and put a hot chemotherapy solution in her abdomen in a surgery after they took out some of her colon and sloshed it around in there basically. And she's been in remission since, but she lost a good deal of her colon and part of her bladder.
Well, I hope the stuff is working with the scans. Well,
Yeah.
here's hoping.
Absolutely. I mean,
Well, the
medicine
last
has come a
CT
long way.
scan was kind of optimistic, but we'll just have to see how it's going. At least the last one said that it wasn't spreading to anywhere else, which was a good
Yeah.
thing.
Even if it's not getting worse, that's good.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey, I'm back, kind of, sort of.
Okay, well, we can hear you better now. There is a lot of background noise.
Okay, yeah, I'm still in the car. I was in a cell phone dead area.
Yeah, you were breaking up so bad I couldn't make out what you were saying.
I was just saying that people around here save their Christmas trees and put them outside because the birds need cover.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the Christmas tree actually started with the Nordic people decorating the trees outside with little gifts of food because it kept the birds and the animals close to the village in the winter.
So they could be eaten.
Yeah, it made hunting good in the winter.
Yeah,
As
maybe
long
I'll.
as it doesn't rain or snow, popcorn strings are good for the birds for that too.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing some outdoor decorating for the wildlife.
Oh boy! Oh,
Yeah.
hooray! I just drove past our eagle's nest, and the eagle is back in it.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
It was gone all season, and now it's back in there. So maybe they're going to use it this spring.
I didn't know they stayed here for the winter. I thought they migrated.
Oh no, as long as there's open water, they'll stay.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to, would like to put out some outside decorations. The other thing we used to do was, just string up all the stale cereal we had. Unfortunately, we already, over the summer, they gave notice that feeding the squirrels was going to be considered a lease violation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently they were having problems with too many squirrels hanging around. They were trying to live trap them. I guess they were, I don't know, hopefully relocating them. I don't know what they were planning to do with them.
Too many. What problem they're causing?
I don't really know.
Well, squirrels will chew through an eave of a house to be able to live up in the roof area.
Yeah.
Places that are warm. They can be quite destructive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
they
know
will
they
try
can
to
be
get
there
into
for
the
sure.
attic spaces.
I know they're annoying little buggers in my garden, but
Yep.
I had a pair of squirrels living in an eave of my house. It was there's this area of the house that's got some windows on the side, and it's just blank wall all the way up to the roof and attic area. except on this area, there was this fake eave attached to the outside. And so it doesn't go inside the house. It just stayed to the outside, and some squirrels chewed through there. And I just let them live there because I know they weren't going to get in the house. And they were there for years.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is sometimes if they get into the attic, they can chew on electrical wiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that could cause a fire hazard if they chew the insulation off the wiring.
Depends on how bad they spark. Or I should
Well-
say how bad the squirrel sparks when it goes through.
Well, what's more the problem is if they chew the insulation, but they leave all the wires.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've got the wires laying against the building insulation.
Yeah.
Especially if it's got craft paper over the insulation, then that can start up.
Hey, what's the gas like around you guys? It went down to 281 out here.
I haven't looked lately.
Well, we usually get our gas at Sam's because it's 60 cents a gallon cheaper than anywhere else. Like it was
Really?
it
That
was like
much?
I don't know, 320 or something like that everywhere else, and at Sam's it was like 267 a gallon. So like I fucking hate giving the Waltons money, but when you get a 10-gallon tank that's $6 every time you fill up, it adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm
Makes a
seeing a lot of
difference.
320 here as well.
Yeah, when I was out yesterday, I was seeing 279. Although I always like to go to the Quick Trip and fill up with the E15 stuff, which is usually about 20 cents a gallon cheaper.
Let's see here. We got Circle K for $2.99.
What's that, Kitty? Is that your grommet setter?
Yep.
Do you have a Wallace setter?
No.
sorry. I'm sorry. That was a really bad joke.
No, that was
Everybody makes that joke.
It was fine. It was funny.
it was a good joke for this group.
Although I've never actually really watched Wallace and Gromit.
Neither
Oh,
have
you
I.
haven't?
Like I know of them, but I've never
Oh.
actually watched them.
You should, and it's something you can watch with your kid.
Like that's another thing. My niece just had her dance recital, her Christmas dance recital, and they did a skit. You know, like all of their routines were tied to a Christmas story, and in between, while they were getting the kids on and off stage, they had a screen that was playing clips from the movie, and I just think it's so funny that over the years, I've seen the entire movie, but I've absorbed it through osmosis because, like, it'll be on the TV, like, here or there. And I've seen the whole thing, but never actually
Oh.
sat down to watch it from start to finish.
Actually, Wallace and Gromit, they did like 4 shorts, and then they did a full-length movie.
I remember the Wallace and Gromit movie that came out, like, that was years ago.
Yeah, but well before that, they had done like 4 40-minute episodes.
The nice thing about the strapping material that I use is it is plastic. So unlike the cotton version of the webbing, if you go and cut it, like it can fray pretty badly. With this, you just hit it real quick with a lighter, and it just seals those fraying edges so that they don't just like fall apart.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
We're doing okay. Jenny seems to be having trouble.
So I see there's another solar in the midst.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Kitty's always working on some project when she's here.
Not always, but a lot of the time.
So I thought I'd join in the fun. I'm making all sorts of duffel bags and pouches, and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah. I eventually when I have a bit more money, I want to get like an industrial juki machine, like the one that comes with like its own like sewing table. It doesn't have any fancy stitches, but the thing is a workhorse and it can sew really fast. And
Yep.
Oh,
lately I've been doing a lot of stuff that is just straight stitching, sewing bags and stuff. And my
you
machine,
mean something like that?
exactly. Yes, that. Um like, and then I can have this machine basically for if I need decorative stitches, or if I'm doing my embroidery stuff, I'll have this machine for that, and then I'll have the juki machine for the main sewing, because a lot of this, again, it's just straight seam sewing, and
Yeah.
having something that's fast and got that oomph that can work with the thicker
Yep.
layers when I'm making a bag that it doesn't seem thick, but then when you're talking about something that you got layers that are up to ½ inch thick, when you're trying to get through like the ending seams, it can be a
Yeah.
little bit tricky.
I've always dreamed of having a machine that would let me sew heavy canvas and leather.
This machine is it's a compound feed walking foot machine, and it'll go through just about anything. It'll still break a needle every now and again, but it's a real workhorse. It's a really great machine.
I have a,
And
I have a,
then
I have a sewing machine question. Have either of you had a sewing machine apart on the inside? See the insides?
I can fix sewing machines. Yeah.
So you got the round and round that I assume is an axial shaft from side to side. Is that correct?
It depends on the machine. What are you talking about? There's are two components to a sewing machine to a locking stitch machine. You've got a
Okay,
bobbin, and then you've got the top, and
right.
so
What I want
they
that's not what I
vary.
want to
And
know. That's not what I
okay,
want to know. What I want to know is the part where it goes from right to left to up and down. Is that cam driven or lever driven?
okay. Well, I could take. Let's see. On a zigzag machine, it's cam and well, here. Hold on. This is the Singer. This is Singer triple step. Let me switch my camera.
Sorry for you guys in the chat, but I need to know things about machines because it's just my
No,
obsession.
yeah,
That's okay.
we got good people on for you to ask now. So
All right. Well, so if I can get the. All right. You're looking at the Singer's easier to get at. So
I
you're
think the
looking.
camera's a bit off. We're not seeing the insides of the machine yet.
Yeah, it's tough. If I had.
Okay, there you go. That's
We're getting, yeah, we're
It's
getting
it's
there.
it's hard to see, but okay.
Yeah.
So this action here is an orbital thing. So as the
Yeah, we're still not
as
seeing the shaft or gears very well yet.
Can
well,
you do a straight down view somehow, or does the
well,
camera
it's
not reach
tough
that
because
far?
I don't know.
Yeah, you just can't get the camera angle there.
Yeah,
You-
let me.
you can't just put the camera right over the hole.
Well, if I do that, then the light gets blocked out.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do here.
Okay.
Is that better?
Oh
Yeah,
man, that's
so
good.
much.
That's
There you
perfect,
go.
right there.
There you go. Now we can see
Okay.
the workings.
All right.
Excellent.
So I'm working my iPad here. So you can see as I turn the main
Okay.
wheel.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we see the
right.
main shaft and
Yeah.
the gear
All
turning.
right. So this is driving the feed dogs, which are down here. Those are the
Mhm.
feed dogs. So this is an orbital thing on the shaft, right, which is pumping another rod down here, which is causing these feed dogs to move. All right. This mechanism here, drives the gear below it, which
So there's-
causes let's see, where's the
So that's a rack and pinion type drive.
yeah, which causes another gear here, which has a lobe on it that causes this guy here, the needle,
To up down.
to move from side to side.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
All
Now,
right. That's all I needed
underneath the machine, you can see all the other stuff. Like this top gear is driving this thing, going to this gear, going to this gear, which spins the bobbin, and that is your basic sewing machine. And that machine, I got to get all put back together again. I don't even know where I am. All right. That machine is a triple step. It does a zigzag pattern, but with individual straight stitches in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing here is a walking foot zigzag machine, which is just an enormously wonderful machine with a 24-inch arm. It's a great machine.
I get it.
I love it.
Okay.
One of these days, I'll have a sewing room like you have there with tons of machines, and it'll be glorious.
Yeah, it's sailmaking. It's not pretty.
I've obsessed over that question for years, and so I appreciate you showing me.
Well, I hope that was
much
helpful.
Yes, it was very much. And for you people in the chat who are just kind of scratching your head, what the fuck? When you're obsessed about machines and stuff, it's like any other obsession. You just gotta have answers for questions. And
You're our resident technophile.
Hey, that was interesting to see. I've never really seen the inside of a sewing machine before, especially an old one like that.
And I need someone else to fix my machines when they break. Like, I have not learned, how to fix them. So, it's good for me to know too.
Particularly when you're working with really heavy stuff, it's unfortunately altogether too easy for the timing to go screwy. So you really need to know how to fix the timing on the machine. Otherwise, you can't sew. If the timing blows up, you're done.
I actually had that. I had to essentially. I ordered a serger, just a cheap little brother one, a couple years back, and what the timing was off on it, like from out of the box. So like I sent it in and I got a replacement for it. And it works fine. The new one does. But yeah, I could see exactly how. And it was frustrating too, because like I'm trying to figure out why it's not working right. And then I did a bunch of Google foo and going down the YouTube rabbit hole of other like sewists that actually are like engineers and do fix things. And they're like, oh yeah, so if you like turn the thing and if you're watching it, if this isn't doing it just like this, then that's how you know your timing's off. And I'm like, that's the problem. Luckily, it was still, within the first 30 days. So I was able to swap it out for a new one.
Yeah, but the timing, if you hit something really thick or something, the timing can get putzed, and it's never any fun. The Juki has a really cool feature. It's got a fail-safe clutch on it, so that if it hits something that's going to stress the shaft, that clutch pops out and it's a safety. It's a quick release. It won't keep sewing, and then you push a button and rotate the thing in a different direction. Hope you didn't do any damage.
That's really
But
cool.
I love these machines. Are so cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which model it was, the one that I wanted to get. Like I have it saved in my Amazon like wish list. So
if you want to work with canvas or heavy stuff, definitely get a walking foot. Get a compound feed walking foot machine. So with
so
the
it's
compound,
the
so the
Juki DDL 8100.
Isn't
That
the
was the one I
walking
was looking at.
isn't the walking foot what they use for quilting machines?
Yeah, I have one, and I just used it when I made the quilt before. Like I've where is my bag of feet? Man, out of context, that sounds weird. Where's my bag of feet?
I know it does sound a little odd.
But for another sewist, you know exactly what I'm talking about because,
I
like,
do.
you'll have your little bag of your different, like, a piecing foot, a button foot, a free motion quilting foot, depending. But yeah, here's the walking foot, and basically the way a sewing machine works is, it's got the feed dogs, and they basically grab the fabric and pull it through. And if you're working with like really shifty fabrics or a thick stack of fabrics, they can shift around and get kind of wonky. And so the walking foot attaches on, and as the needle goes up and down, it has grips to grip the top. So it's basically gripping the fabric from the top and the bottom at the same time. So you get a more even feed and you don't get bunching or slipping.
And one step beyond that is is the machine, the compound feed is where the needle bar itself moves with the work,
I'll be right back.
which is really cool.
I've never had that, but my my serger does have a variable feed. So like if you're working with like a stretchy material, you can have it feed, the back a little bit faster than the front so you don't get puckering, or, so you can basically, the front and back will feed at different speeds to allow for stretch and to keep things nice and smooth.
I have a serger in the corner and I've never used it.
Mine's over here. I had to tuck it away because the cats, like, I got so frustrated. I learned how to thread it though, because my cats would chew the strings. And so I would have to rethread it every time I tried to use it. And so trying to thread 4 different threads through the machine can be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the one that I'm looking at is the Juki DDL 8100, and it comes with the table stand. And the only bad reviews on it are that the assembly instructions are hard to follow and you have to go find a YouTube video to do it. Like everyone's like, once you get it put together, it works like a dream. It's fucking amazing. But putting it together is a nightmare.
Well, this thing is, for your reference, is an LU563.
Okay.
I'd love to have a machine like that. Of course, I'd also love to have the space to put it.
Yeah, my sewing area is very cluttered because I basically just overtook a small little corner next to my computer, where I've got a big window so I get natural light, which is nice. And also my son's like swing set and everything is right outside this window. So when he's playing outside, I can keep an eye on him while I'm sitting here working.
That's good.
Well,
But it's very cramped space. I do not have enough space, like room for all of my stuff. One of these days I'll have a nice big sewing room, or I'll move my computer somewhere else and just overtake this whole area here as my sewing space. I mean, technically it's the foyer/dining room.
Larry, it looks like it's already been taken over as your sewing space.
Well, this corner has. The rest of it is, well, my computer's right here. The guinea pigs are right over there. The dining room table is over there. So yeah, the front door's there. So you walk in the front door and there's like the shoe rack and the little mini fridge that we keep drinks in. And the dining room table and the guinea pigs, and then my computer and my little sewing corner.
Brilliant.
Well, from the look of it, I would say that room Stephanie's working in is probably bigger than my entire apartment.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's a sail loft. And it's right now a bag making facility. I've got a friend who's selling bags in Boston. And her production person decided they didn't want to produce anything. So, help! Okay, I'll do it.
Now that I got my store running, I need someone else to do the actual work.
See, for me, I just finished up that quilt for my mom, and I'm waiting on a call from her because she is doing Christmas with her sisters today, and so she's giving my aunt the quilt that I worked on today. And I was like, all I ask is that when she opens it, like, just I want to be on FaceTime so I can see her reaction. You know,
Cool. Yeah. I like it.
and that was pretty much it. Like, that's the only thing I really cared about. But now I'm working on a new bag for myself because my magnetic snap broke on the other bag. So I'll take it apart and salvage what I can from it, like the zipper pulls and the hardware, and then I'll just toss the rest. But I love this new fabric anyway that I'm making this out of, so I am not complaining. Considering the other one was pretty plain. But then I actually have other sewing things that I need to do because we're doing a white elephant thing. Because no one in my family really has a lot of money. And so we don't really do presents for the adults. We just spend all our money on the kids. And for Christmas, rather than doing like individual gifts for each other, I mean, we might if it's something small, like a new calendar or a candle or something, but we'll do a white elephant thing every year, just to make a fun game of it for the adults, and then the kids have all their presents. So that's basically just our family tradition. And so this year, money's been a little bit tighter, especially since like having to pay for my medications out of pocket is fucking killing me. I just had to pick them up again yesterday, and it still hasn't been sorted with the insurance company to get them to pay for it again. And shelling out over $200 every fucking 24 days
Jesus.
hurts.
Really?
So I had to put it on my credit card, which is not something I'm thrilled about. But I need my medication to function. So, they kind of have me by the balls. So yeah, so I'm like, instead of like going out and buying things for the white elephant, I'm planning on making a few things. Like I was going to make an oven mitt set, and then I was going to do like a table, like maybe a quilted table runner, or like some little like napkins that you can fold in a way to make them look like a little tree. Like I've got some rickrack here, and I've got some winter like holiday fabrics that I picked up Black Friday at Joann's. I got fat quarters for $1. And I got a few different ones. So I'm like, I'll make a couple of small things, and then I can bring a couple of like little things to the white elephant thing. So
it looks like leaves.
It does look like leaves. Oh, come here. I think Miss Purple would love to see the outfit you're wearing. I bet she would love your jammies.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Oh.
I love the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
You love the Guardians of the
That's
Galaxy?
awesome.
I think it's called a Milano.
A Milano. Okay.
Yep, Milano. That's correct.
You're way smarter than me, kiddo. All right, go have fun. We're going to have to do your breathing treatment when we get back from picking up Daddy. So you need to get dressed at 3:00, okay? We're going to leave then. He wanted to go drop his dad off at work this morning, and I was like, no, you had a rough night. Stay in bed, get some rest. But, he's up and around now, so I'm going to take him for the drive. Just, get him out of the house. Like, that usually cheers him up, just going on a quick little drive across town to pick his dad up from work. So, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that Sloth Girl has been cranking out hats and masks with her knitting machine.
I still want one of those. Because, like, I love the idea of making hats and stuff like that. I struggle I know how to crochet. I don't know how to knit, but like the texture of the yarn, like I can only work with
Mhm.
it for short periods before it just makes me feel icky. I don't like the feeling of it when I'm working with it. The finished product is fine. So like eventually I do want to get one of those little knitting machines so I can make my own little hats and stuff, and I think it would be great.
Yeah, I don't know how many she's done, but we got a good sized box to ship.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I went on Amazon and got her an electric motor for the knitting machine, so she doesn't need to hand crank it now.
Oh wow, then yeah, it'll be even faster. Holy hell.
Greg Hartwick there last year upgraded her knitting machine to a professional model for her.
Oh, yeah, that was the one I was looking at because like they have like the cheaper one, which I was like, oh, let me get that one to start, when I do get one because I don't have one yet,
Mhm.
and give it a go because I can't see like getting like the more like professional one like right away because I'd want to work out the kinks on something that's cheaper, that way,
Yeah.
if it breaks or if I don't enjoy doing it. But like I like making stuff, so I'm sure I would enjoy it.
Yeah,
But
well, of course, with the cheaper one, you're going to get plastic parts that are just,
not gonna last
yeah,
very
they're
long.
not going to wear as well, and it's more likely to jam up just because the parts don't fit as precisely.
What was it? Was it Arnie or Artie or something like that? The more professional one. I'm trying to remember because like they have a jumbo one, and then they have like a smaller version of it. And like there was a kit on Amazon that it had a couple of books and it had both versions all in one bundle. Um, and it has some extra hooks in there as well. And like with the big one, instead of doing circular, you can go back and forth and make panels and then attach the panels together to make like a vest or like a sweater, which I think is so freaking cool.
Yeah, apparently there's like 3 sizes. There's 3 sizes of the one that she has. I was trying to look it up here. Actually, it looks like the price has come down on these. But there we go.
I know they were a big thing on TikTok for a while, so the price was jacked way up because everybody on TikTok was making hats and scarves out of those little knitting machines a while back. And whenever something becomes a trend, capitalism has to fucking come in and ruin it. Oh, speaking of capitalism, I just saw a thing. Apparently, Costco is telling the big banks to fuck off because they're not passing the inflation prices on to their customers. They're refusing. They're actually eating the cost themselves.
Oh wow.
And like one of the big banks that like, finances them or whatever, like in Wall Street or whatever, was like, no, like you should be charging more. Like you're hurting everything.
Really?
Like you should be making more money. And they're like, no, fuck that. No, we're not
Banks
doing
are
it.
telling him that, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, well, because right now the biggest issue with inflation is corporate price gouging. Like things don't have to be as expensive as
Right.
they are.
Well, I have a Costco about
Yeah.
20 miles from me. Maybe I should get a membership.
And Costco pays a living wage to its employees.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is something they've
That-
always done.
Yeah, that is something they're good about.
And here's the thing, like their profits like only went down like 0.5 or 0.05% by not price gouging. But like sure, it's a short-term loss, but people are going to hear about it and they're going to appreciate it. And so, they're thinking more long-term. It's like the biggest issue with capitalism, at least the way we do capitalism, is it's all about, the quarterly profits, infinite growth, and short-term gains. Like if Exxon and the other oil companies who knew climate change was an issue and that they were contributing to it back in the 60s, if they had invested in green energy then, sure, it would have meant smaller profits for a little while, but then they would be the global leaders
Yeah.
this day. Yep, that's the exact one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Addie. It was Addie. I knew it was a something. But
Okay.
yeah. So they knew, like, you know, like they would be the corner of the market for green energy, and the planet wouldn't be about to fucking yeet us into oblivion, you know?
Okay. And Sloth Girl saying, "Don't waste your money on the Centro machine." That was the one she had before.
Yeah, that was the one I was looking at to just give it a try, but I might just save up and get the Addie instead.
Okay. And she says there's only 2 sizes. I thought there were 3, but yeah.
Yeah, there's the
this
small
is
one and the
larger
big one.
Yep.
Thank you, Sloth Girl. But yeah, so I mean, my biggest issue with capitalism, other than the fact that, you know, it requires a permanent underclass that can be ground into oil to lube the machine and keep it chugging along, and the fact that it, you know, disincentivizes making people's lives better, because if people aren't worried about how they're going to pay for their medicine or their health care or health treatments or how they're going to afford rent, then they're not willing to work at slave wages. They will demand better wages, you know, and better working conditions. So it requires keeping people in poverty and struggling and suffering in order to keep the machine chugging forward. But like, honestly, they say you get more conservative as you get older. Like, the older I get, the more post-capitalist, you know, hello comrade, be gay, do crime, eat the rich that I become. But
Hell, I'm 69 and I'm at least as radical as I was in my teens and 20s, if not more so.
I mean, and honestly,
The world has been such shit, you know. Maybe it has something to do with not being a part of the swell majority, but
well, it's not
Yeah.
even this,
Jesus.
like, if you're a marginalized person, if you are disabled, if you are queer, if you are, you know, transgender, if you are a minority, if you are a woman, like any of
Yep.
those things, like, the world is not kind to you. Now, there are exceptions, and there is a hierarchy there. Like, me as a queer, disabled white woman is not going to be treated as badly by the system as a queer, disabled black person, you know, but or even just a black person in general, depending on the situation. Like, it's all like context and it all intersects, but ultimately, you know, like, our society does not give a shit about disabled people, like, at all. You are expected to basically just, you know, go over in the corner and die quietly.
Yeah, it can be pretty hard for me where you don't.
That's what I'm
where you
trying to
don't-
do.
It can be hard for me because you don't see the disability.
Yeah,
Well,
and just because you don't see it doesn't
yeah.
mean it's not there.
But that's a big thing too about how you're treated. Depends on whether or not they can see if you fit into a minority. You know, which is why it's a lot easier for them to discriminate against black people, because that's obvious.
Yeah.
It's a little harder for them with queer people because they can't always tell.
No,
Oh,
they can
yes,
always
they
tell.
can. They said they can always
They
tell.
say they can, but like, I have passing privilege because I'm a bisexual woman in a relationship with a man. You know, it doesn't erase my queer identity, but it means that when I'm out and about, I'm not getting side-eyed by the conservatives around me, you know? And
Fair.
the worst I get, well, other than just like the systemic issues against disabled people not having enough like handicap slots, or, you know, making things where you don't have good accommodations for that, or, you know, the financial aspect of the government does not give a shit about making sure that disabled people are comfortable. Putting all that aside, you know, when I'm out and about, like walking with my cane, usually the worst that happens is well-meaning Christians come up and try to proselytize to me that if I just accept Jesus, I'll magically be fucking healed.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the goddamn
Oh,
time. And like
oh,
the
God,
last
that's
time it
horrid.
happened, I fucking actually snapped on the woman. Like I was still nice, but I was like, look, you do realize that you are preying on disabled people by doing this, right? And the look on her face, like she was taken aback. Like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like,
Yep.
she's like, I didn't even realize you were disabled. I'm like, no, you were walking past me. You saw me, whether it was conscious or not. You saw me standing here with a cane and you came up to proselytize to me. And, you know, a week before that, a guy was in front of me in the checkout at Publix and he asked me what was wrong, you know, because he saw the cane. And I was like, I have a nerve condition. And I left it at that because I'm not getting into my diagnosis with a
Yeah.
rando. And
Yeah.
they're like, do you mind if I pray for you? I'm like, you can if you want, but I'm an atheist, so I don't think it's going to do anything. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to do it if you don't want me to because I want to respect that. I'm like, thank you. I
Okay.
spoke too soon because that guy followed me to my car in the parking lot and spent
Yeah.
half an hour still proselytizing to me.
Never mind.
Yeah.
just gonna say.
I just tell religious people, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody out in the audience, but I've been confronted by them as well, just like Kitty's describing. I tell them, take your fucking religion and shove it up your ass, and that makes them
Really?
go.
Oh, I don't mind people talking to me.
I actually, the guy that followed me to my car, I made him very, very uncomfortable because we ended up having a conversation about like the problem with evil and how, you know, Adam and Eve and like the fall of man. And I was like, so like, how could they have known that it was wrong to disobey God if they didn't have the knowledge of good and evil that they got from eating of the tree? It was like basically they were at an emotionally stunted growth, you know, mentally. They were mentally deficient without that knowledge. And he was like, well, Adam was smart. He named all the animals. And I was like, so can an autistic 2-year-old. That doesn't mean they can enter a legally binding contract. And so like he actually started to get like visibly uncomfortable when I was like, look,
Good.
God wanted people to worship him and he wanted to keep them emotionally and mentally stunted. And once they ate the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then, you know, once they ate that fruit, they knew what they did was wrong, but they had no possible way of knowing it was wrong to disobey a direct order until they had that knowledge.
Good, yeah. Maybe you got 'em questioning some. That's good.
Who knows?
How dare you make sense?
Right?
Indeed.
That's usually how people end up being atheists. They have this web of beliefs, and then just one string gets pulled, and another, and eventually it just comes unraveled.
The reason I am so hostile right off the bat is because I've had enough experiences, whether it was before I was handicapped or not, that say nicely, you know, no, I'm not interested, thank you very much, and walking away or something like that doesn't stop them. That I have found that unless I am extremely rude and direct, they don't get it because they think,
I
well,
get
my Bible
get it.
says I have to do that. You know?
No, I get
Or
what you're
like-
saying, and I've experienced that too. I just tend to try to take the more, you know, kill them with kindness approach. And if they do want to try to talk my ear off, I will try to, you know, plant seeds of doubt in their mind. It's like, you want to proselytize to me? Okay, I'm just going to subtly like incept you.
Start out every sentence you say with Satan tells me that.
I like to ask a lot of questions. In fact, you've probably seen me doing that on Twitter quite often on conservative and stuff. If you ever see the stuff I'm posting, I'm always asking questions.
Ah, crap. And now we got the bots.
Oh, time to play Whack-A-Bot, huh?
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. It's the holidays, and the big wireless companies are busy spending billions on that. At Mint, we're not into wasting money.
Hey, does anybody on the panel or in the chat have Mint Mobile as their cell phone people?
No, I
Nope.
have AT&T.
I'm with Verizon.
Anybody in the chat?
Nope. I got one's from Q-Link and one's from TrackPhone.
I have a track phone, but it's not active right now.
I had a track phone years
I'm just
ago.
curious. I'm just curious that's the company that what's his name? Ryan Reynolds owns.
Ah,
and it's only $15 a month. And I was just wondering if anybody knows what it's like, the service quality and that sort of thing.
I hadn't even heard of it. The track phone I've got, I get on a deal that it's basically like $100 a year to keep it active. And if I need to, I can add extra minutes, but it's the one I hardly ever use.
Track phone's pretty nice.
Well, mostly I keep it because it's my old one from Michigan. And I actually have not felt like giving most of my family my new phone number.
I've seen it advertised by a couple of YouTubers.
But like I say,
But,
for one
yeah.
you're not going to use very often, the track phone is good. It comes out really cheap
Yeah,
as a prepaid thing.
yeah, it is a really good cheap phone.
Yeah. The Q-Link is actually one that I got. This one's free. You know, it's under that federal program.
Like the Lifeline assistance or whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got that through the Lifeline program, so I'm not even paying for that one at all. So basically, yeah, I've got the two phones together is only costing me about $100 a year.
It's also, I don't know if they're still doing it, but it's also worth getting the double minutes with the track phone. So you pay for like what was like 100 minutes, 100 hours, whatever.
Yep.
And you'll get 200 instead for the same price.
How do you do that?
It's just this extra thing. You pay like a one-time fee, and you get this double thing for it.
Yeah. When you're looking at the plans on their website, it'll come up.
And then afterwards, the recurring payment will double whatever you're buying. I got that on mine.
Yep. So, hey Rex, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. How's
Sorry,
everybody?
I didn't realize you weren't in my Discord server yet, so I didn't realize you weren't seeing the links.
Oh, I'm in there. I just don't check Discord very often. So.
Well, neither do I.
Well, now if there's a show going on, check Discord.
Well, fair enough. Well, I don't check Facebook and I don't check Discord as much as I probably should. But
I basically only get on the Discord when I'm looking for the links for somebody else's show or when I'm posting the links for my own. That's about all I use it. Unfortunately, Twitter is definitely going down the tubes, and
oh
I'm still
yeah,
concerned.
I quit Twitter a long time ago. I was like, no.
Well, see, I don't want to just quit Twitter because I'll lose contact with some of the fringe communities there. And like nobody has told me where all the queer paleo people are regrouping.
Well, I've told you several times, Mastodon.lol.
Yep. Okay. Well, I created an account on there. I'm still finding it confusing to actually find anybody.
Yeah, let's not go Mastodon on again.
Well,
It's a whole.
what you do is you give out people your address and then they come to you.
Exactly,
well.
and you follow people and you boost
Wait,
their hoops.
Wait, if you can't find the people in the first place, how are you supposed to give them your address?
There's
There's a lot of sources for that, like chat here, verbal.
There's-
If you're talking to them on the phone,
Yeah.
you're still on Twitter, you can do it there.
There's also a utility that this guy in Brazil developed, which will let you create a list of all of your Twitter people you follow on Twitter, and it'll match up all of those people if they have a Mastodon account and put their Mastodon account in their Twitter bio.
Okay,
You would have to
Stephanie,
know if that
I
runs-
thought I had connected with you on Mastodon, but now I'm
You
not
did.
seeing you. Well, I'm not
Yeah.
seeing you on my list now.
Well,
Different
let's
server.
see.
She's on a different server. That's probably why.
Could be, but I don't know. Let me check.
Because I'm on a different server. I can't find friend or follow any of you people. That's another
Yeah,
problem
when
I
you
have with
mentioned that,
Mastodon.
yeah, I don't see you either, Mage, and I know that we had connected.
Yeah, that's another problem I have with Mastodon because so you're still scattered everywhere, even on the damn platform.
That didn't help.
I don't know if I have to go and create another account on the other server. What do I have to like create 100 accounts on every server?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to have an account on every server.
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry, but Mastodon is not selling. You're not selling it to me here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I have my own Discord. Kitty's part of it, so if you're connected with Kitty, you can send me a request or a message or DM or whatever, and I'll invite you to my server.
So
Mon-
I see you, Purple Rhymes with Orange. Let's see, where are you? At mastodon.lol.
Yeah,
you
but
are.
I'm not seeing you.
In the, if you use it, I haven't found an app that works real well yet. But if you use the web interface, it's really great. It looks an awful lot like
Yeah,
TweetDeck.
well, I'm on my desktop, so I'm on the web interface, but
Well, if you go to on the extreme left-hand side of the interface, if you use the advanced interface, use the advanced interface. That's the other thing, because the standard one is not.
Okay. How do you find the advanced interface?
You go to your account. You go to. I got it. I'll step my way through it.
Yeah, Mastodon's so great unless you as long as you know how to reprogram the whole thing. No, just
Look,
joking.
it's just
I'm
another
joking.
platform. It's just another platform. Always got to
that's
figure it out.
The problem. Yeah. That's the problem I always have with new software is nobody ever writes a user manual. You're just supposed to stumble through it and somehow figure out what menu everything's under.
I can DM you some references that work stuff. If you go to edit profile and preferences, well, let's see, other, maybe it's other. Oh no, it's appearance, preferences, appearance. Preferences, appearance, enable advanced web interface.
Okay, apparently I already have that enabled.
So if you do, then if you go over to the extreme left of the advanced interface and put in the top little search or paste URL and you type in @Sidra, you should find me.
Yeah. Nope. I must be spelling it wrong or something because I'm not seeing anything that looks like you.
SIDHRA.
Oh, H. Okay.
And it says you follow me and I follow you. So
Okay.
there you go.
Well, that lets me find people individually.
Yeah, and there's let me see if I can find that cross follow thing. What it does is it generates a CSV file and you can import those contacts.
Does it work only on Mac or only on PC?
No, it works. It's web based. The whole thing's web based.
Ah,
Basically,
okay.
it logs into the two accounts and looks for people you follow on either. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. It's not cross poster. I can figure out because I'm linked.
Okay, well,
For Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Fucking
also
Twitter.
I seem to have again misplaced you. You had a link tree or something there, and I thought I had saved it to the shilling list, but I don't seem to have it. Yeah, it's I always have trouble with learning new software.
Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm
Because
clicking in the. I've got too many tabs open.
Yeah.
Pip, do you ever take written notes when somebody's trying to explain stuff to you?
Yes, and then I usually lose the notes.
Keep a spiral notebook right next to the computer. Don't ever move it from there.
Well, if you're taking notes on a
Settings and
computer, you can use
support.
you can use the notepad built into the computer.
Yeah, I do that, and I also for things that I know I need to know forever that has no other place. I will put in my notes opening or notes opportunity in my contacts list.
The name of the app, the name of the thing is Debirdify, and the URL is I'll hang on.
Yeah, if you could post a link for that in the YouTube chat, I'm sure other people here could use it as well. Yeah, I have a problem even with misplacing things within the computer. It's like half the time when the computer saves something, I have no idea which directory I put it in. You know, I go and download something and then I can't find the file.
Can you on PCs? Can you just create a folder that sits on the desktop and never moves?
Yeah.
Well, then put everything in that one folder.
Yeah, well, like I say, half the time it's like I save stuff and I think I know where it's going, but when I go and look for it, it's not there.
That's why you have one folder where everything goes.
I just put that link in there.
Theoretically,
YouTube
that's
chat.
what the download folder should be doing.
Are you clicking to save or save as?
Yeah, well, that's generally clicking the save, but it's like it seems to change where it saves it between things. Okay, I'll have to check this out later.
That what it does is it links to it links to the it does a search through your Twitter followers or people you follow, and if they have put a Mastodon link either in their username, in their profile or in their handle, it'll find those and create a file and import it into Mastodon. You can find the people you follow on Twitter who are on Mastodon, and follow them in bulk.
That should help, yeah. like, uh, ooh,
But
copywriting.
the Fediverse doesn't work off of an algorithm, so you've got to be fairly active. Post interesting stuff and follow lots of interesting people. It's not a get your rocks off by having tons of followers. It's more like you follow a bunch of people and eventually you get followed because you say shit.
Well, okay, I'm going to do this. This is a link to my Discord, and whatever y'all want to put in there, put in there. As long as it's not like fucking weird porn and shit. Yeah.
God
Shit.
darn it.
That's all I got.
Define weird.
Well, like dwarf clown porn. Yeah, don't put that in there. Yeah, don't put that in there.
Oh, darn it.
All clown porn. I got it.
But there it is in the private chat. And
What am I going to eat?
you're welcome to join.
How about mime porn? Does mime count as clown?
Divine clown. Oh,
That'd be a great thing. A mime doing porn.
Oh shit! I've got to
Oh,
cut
he's
some
mimicking.
loops.
Yeah, look at he's in a imaginary box, and there's other shit going on. But yeah, y'all are free to join. I'll give you a roll. My Discord is called A Dungeon and a Dragon, and
Nice.
if you know who Tiamat is, that's the dragon.
Ah,
So don't fuck up. I'm just saying. Because she'll show up and she will fuck you up.
Brilliant.
Come on, stop doing that.
You're shit. You're shit.
Okay.
And Tiamat has 5 heads, right? She does.
I knew Tiamat was some kind of a hydra. I didn't know how many heads.
yeah.
It's a black dragon, a green dragon, a white dragon, and a fuck. I
Is
can't
there a
think
red
of
dragon?
Well, yeah, there's a red dragon in there, and then there's one more. Shit.
Let's look it up.
Blue dragon.
Blue
That's
dragon. All right.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, I mean, if you watch the old cartoon from the 80s,
Oh yeah,
you know
I like that
Imagine.
cartoon.
yeah,
fact,
that cartoon.
In fact, they're planning on making new cartoons of that old cartoon. They're like doing a reboot or something of it.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise.
I don't know how that's gonna turn out.
Another wonderful sewing room accessory is this beautiful thing here. A hot knife for melting stuff.
Kitty was talking earlier about melting the edges of some of the fabrics.
Which is
Yeah, I
why
just have a little lighter, but I'm working on a
that's
small
why I
scale.
whipped that out.
Sitting here whipping stuff out on stream, boy.
Throw it on the table. I mean, come on, man.
Never understood dick measuring contests.
I don't either.
It's for petty and insecure men.
Yep. It's for men who have no talent.
What's that?
Dick measuring contest.
contests.
I'm sorry, you both spoke at once.
They said the same thing.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
not accurate enough for me to understand.
Dick measuring contests.
A dick measuring contest.
Okay.
See how many times we can say that.
Oh,
Well, aren't they all
Oh.
8 inches?
No.
Yeah, in most men's dreams.
The average actually is about 5 inches.
did you see the breaking news out of Australia today?
No.
Mm-mm.
Apparently, Australian scientists have discovered that female snakes have clitorises,
Huh.
Really?
Okay.
once believed not to exist. Much like many men of the human variety don't believe that women of the human variety have clitorises, or at least they can't find them.
It's not
All right, so
hard.
I may have named my fucking cloister clitoris in Pokemon Violet. I mean,
Yeah, I
saw-
can see that.
A accessory license plate for your car that has the Confederate, or I should say the KKK flag. And over it, it says, let's see now, what is it? Well, something to the effect that the clit is fictitious.
and that's how you know that man has never pleased a woman in his life.
Well, it's a whole man. It's a whole.
Yeah, we're talking Ben
manufacturer
Shapiro
stuff.
level of.
It's not that hard. It's right there. It's like, how do you not?
It's the devil's doorbell, I'll tell you.
Well, okay, I was still stuck on the snakes having one, and it's like, that really makes perfect sense. That's probably how snakes evolved. Is that that the female snakes decided that constantly rubbing it on the ground, it was better off not having legs.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That does make a certain amount of sense.
Yeah, but it might get raw after a while.
This is true. Overstimulation is absolutely a thing.
Yeah. I have been accused of overdoing it a time or two.
It can actually get painful after a bit.
Yeah.
You guys,
That's okay.
I am.
then
I'm
I'll
going to
kiss
have-
it and make it feel better.
Exactly. Aftercare.
Oh, good God.
What are you saying, translator, Jenny?
I'm trying to say I need to go because my battery is just
Oh.
not working today,
Oh,
and
no.
it's about to fail. So I got to see if I can get this thing to charge.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully we'll see you later. I'm going to be bouncing
Yep.
here in a few too. So
Or else we'll see you
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Oops. Measure twice, cut once.
Oh, wasn't. Oh, I thought it was cut twice, measure once. Joke.
It's cut twice, measure once, go buy a replacement.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, back. Yeah, actually, I've got to work on the shows list because it's like, with all the new platforms, especially, not many people have a Mastodon link in there. So those are going to all need to be added. Actually, not even many people have Discord links in there. So we need to make sure we've got that stuff covered so we don't lose track of people.
Oh shit! God damn it!
Oh, did anybody else see Elon Musk get booed for 10 minutes straight when
Oh,
Dave
yes.
Chappelle brought
Yes.
him on
That's
stage?
Yep.
that's been all over the news feeds
It
I
was
listen
fucking
to.
glorious.
Well, and one of the things I was watching said that, he thought it was kind of 50-50. That was half cheers and half boos.
No.
But
That's
No.
hoping.
I'm also kind of wondering about, were all those cheers actually just the audience, or was the sound man instructed to add those?
I mean,
I
that's a
imagine-
conspiracy theory I could actually get behind.
I imagine there were probably were a few legitimate cheers in the crowd.
Well, no, I'm sure there were some. I'm just wondering, how many, and I don't really consider that a conspiracy theory because, at those shows that they add in canned applause.
Hmm. Well,
That's true.
Elon's gone pretty full on Trump.
Well,
these
he
days.
just reposted some QAnon shit. Like,
Yeah, see, this is why I stay away from Twitter. Because fuck all that noise. Fuck all that noise.
Yeah, well, like I say, that the problem is just making sure that we can find each other, and unfortunately, with people going to different platforms, groups are getting splintered.
Well, I mean,
fortunately, sorry, go ahead.
no, you finish.
Okay, I
I'm
was going to
done.
say, fortunately, there's a few people, in the community that actually have my cell phone number. So if Twitter implodes, like, and someone
Yeah.
needs to reach me, you can either reach out to Godless Granny or you can reach out to Purple. She's got my number.
I believe I have it as well.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you too, Mage.
Yeah.
So like there's a few people, in our little group that, have my number.
Well, I mean, if you really need to reach me, just DM me on Discord. And I will get it eventually. Eventually.
Yeah, I think I texted you back when my power was still out, seeing if you were okay. Never got a reply back though.
Oh, the power went out for a while, and I've got ice today, so I may just disappear. Shit like that happens when you live in the way back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Thunderfoot has been brutal to Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, but not unfair. All of his points have been legitimate.
Yeah, well, most of them I would say. I think there have been a few he's been a little off on, but yeah, most of them have been fairly legit.
Yeah, but most of it is that he is sticking to the hard science. He is showing that mathematically, the laws of physics as we understand them, this will never work.
Yeah, that's what I like about his videos mostly.
Yeah. Elon Musk is mostly a modern day P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of explaining it. I heard one person whose column it was like a 14-year-old fortune in shit poster.
Yeah. But I do wonder actually why he hasn't already by this time been brought up on fraud charges for
That's a good
doing
question.
things to make his company seem more profitable in order to get more investors.
That is a good point. He has made a lot of unfounded claims and then either just kind of shut up about it and
Well, and like even now with Twitter, he's trying to prop up Twitter by having SpaceX buying advertising space on Twitter. Okay,
Well,
who on Twitter would SpaceX be advertising to first of all?
Here's the thing. It seems to me that he was more the sucker for buying Twitter in the first place. What did he expect to gain?
Yeah, like I said, I've compared him to the dog who caught the car.
Yeah, I really think he bought Twitter because he thought it would let him control what everybody says.
Honestly, like if it wasn't for the fact that he's doing such harmful shit, I would actually feel bad for Elon. Like he was bullied as a kid and, like he's emotionally stunted, miserable, lonely, middle-aged man, like I would have empathy and sympathy for him if he wasn't doing so much fucking harm.
Yeah,
Oh.
he has very serious control issues.
Oh, and have you heard with all the shit going on with Twitter, he's been knocked out of being the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I saw
Mhm.
that.
I heard that, and I actually even saw a projection that at the rate things are going, he may be knocked down to like 4th place pretty soon.
Yeah, he's currently in 2nd place right now.
Yep. Of course, he's in 2nd place behind the guy who co-founded Tesla. Which also makes me wonder, because part of the reason that Elon dropped down was because the value of Tesla stock dropped so much. So shouldn't that bring both of them down?
Not if they have diversified portfolios. Like if the
Yeah.
guy's invested in things other than Tesla. Because like honestly, most of Elon's stock is tied up in Tesla and SpaceX. Like that's where most of his money is.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Elon took a hit with the whole Twitter purchase as well.
Well,
And overpaying $20 billion.
yeah. And
love
he used his Tesla. He used his Tesla stock to leverage the Twitter buy-on.
Yeah, gotta love it.
But yeah, I don't know how he ever thought Twitter was worth $44 billion to begin with. So I guess somebody finally did to him what he's been doing to all of his investors.
Well, from my
And
understanding,
employees.
he didn't think it was worth that much to begin with. He was just trying to give him a price that they couldn't refuse, and then it was like way over.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
remember,
more
he
so
did
than he
try to
thought.
back out of it.
Yeah, he did try to back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a meme. And honestly, he would have been better off taking the $2 billion hit, like in the fine of backing out of the deal than actually going through with it. Like,
Yeah.
But it would have been more a blow to the ego as opposed to a blow to the wallet. And it seems like he cares more about his ego than, his actual wallet.
Yep.
And then he tried to play it up as if he was playing some kind of 4-dimensional chess with his Twitter.
I think he pretty well demonstrated that he's got a huge, enormous attachment to his ego.
And he's chronically online, and fucking like he's on Twitter more than most people. He's on Twitter more than Twitter mods are. And like they do that for their fucking job.
Yeah. Well, and he's trying so hard to get Trump back on.
But Trump can't because it would tank Truth Social. Nobody
Yep.
would go there if they could just see Trump on Twitter. Plus, it would also hurt Trump because, he has a fiduciary responsibility to Truth Social because it's his,
Yep.
And if he were to go on Twitter, it could be seen as basically breach of contract, breach of fiduciary responsibility.
That's what I was guessing. That I know that Trump actually, it was something in a contract that he has to post to Truth Social so many times because he was getting in trouble for not. He was getting in trouble for not posting often enough. So
because that's the whole thing. Truth Social, that's where Trump is. Like that's its only real selling point. Like the interface is like Twitter but worse, which is saying something. And like you retruth something instead of retweeting. Like it is basically just a Twitter carbon copy. It's just, remember the movie Multiplicity? You make a copy of a copy of a copy. It's like basically the I Like Pizza Steve copy.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised he didn't call it Trump Social and have the post called Trumpets.
I would
not that
be
smart.
surprised if he didn't try to call it Trump Social at first and somebody else had to talk him out of it.
December 16th.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you notice since he announced his presidential run, he's been strangely absent. You
He's
haven't heard
actually
anything from
canceled
him.
rallies.
Yep.
Huh.
And I'm betting that's because his lawyers have finally got him, finally got to him and finally convinced him that, until we get some of these legal cases settled, you really need to shut up because every time you speak in public, you're fucking us over.
I think it's also an ego thing, considering like he had to have the doors locked at Mar-a-Lago. He announced his presidential run in his home at Mar-a-Lago and had to lock the doors so
Yeah.
people couldn't leave during his speech.
I
Because people
heard
tried to
about that,
leave.
yeah.
So
oh yeah, the
I
security,
mean,
the security not letting the people leave. I heard about that.
yeah, and so a combination of that, the fact that, he lost big in the midterms, like every single one of his crazy candidates lost. Sure, he endorsed
Well,
some that won, but they were safe seats that if they
Yeah.
had lost, it would have been even worse.
Lock me in a place like that. Yeah, so I would have been saying, okay, you open this door, I'm gonna kick it down.
Yeah, all but two of the people that he endorsed that won were in districts that were so heavily Republican it was virtually impossible for them to lose.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah. And even with the Georgia runoff, the Republicans had to convince him not to try and help Herschel Walker.
I'm pretty sure Herschel Walker fucking helped himself enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made much of a difference.
But Trump had announced he was going to go down there and do a rally for Herschel Walker. And it's like the next day, the RNC was saying, no, don't do that.
Oh, please don't do that.
Well, that's why you see so many establishment Republicans basically trying to back DeSantis, because DeSantis is Trump light and he doesn't have the same stench around him.
Yeah, DeSantis is Trump who usually knows not to say the quiet part until the plan's already done.
Yeah, in my opinion, DeSantis might actually be worse than Trump.
Well, DeSantis is more dangerous just because he's more competent.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Trump's an egomaniac and an idiot, and he did a lot of damage, but it would have been far worse if it had been DeSantis.
Mostly Trump is just saying the quiet part, or it's out loud, where a lot of these other guys keep it quiet and actually still do the same crap.
So here's my theory.
That's the main thing, that Trump screwed up a lot of his own plans by letting people know about it too early.
So here's my theory. Trump obviously is running. DeSantis is going to run. There's no way he doesn't run, because he's got the backing of the establishment. They want him to oust Trump. If the Republicans are smart, they will do like what the Democrats did on Bloody Monday and clear the field, to allow it to be basically DeSantis v. Trump, because Trump has his core 30% that is not of the base that's not going to abandon him, but a lot of people are. And if they clear he could win with only 30% if there's 10, 20 candidates up there. But if there's only 2, it's not going to cut it. So then, DeSantis wins the primary. Trump runs as an independent because he will refuse, or he runs as an independent and says that it was rigged, which would further disenfranchise his own voters, thinking that, wow, even our GOP primaries are not safe. What's the point in voting?
Rhinos.
Exactly. And it basically causes the civil war going on in the Republican Party to destroy the party, or at least, heavily damage it so that we get several years of Democrats going forward. That is my hope and my theory.
I like it.
But on that note, I need to bounce because I got to head out and go pick up Michael. If you guys are still going when I get back,
Later.
I will pop back in.
Okay.
If not, I will catch you guys later. I probably won't be on tomorrow night because I've got a doctor's appointment Friday morning, and I've got the Christmas party for Michael's office tomorrow evening. So
It's still a shame I don't have your Amazon wish list, because I could have sent you something.
you don't have to worry about that. But thank you. I do appreciate it. I will catch you guys later.
Well,
Right.
Kitty, if you ever gave me a wish list, it would wind up in the links here, you know.
Yeah, well, that's one of
you
the
might
reasons
not-
why I haven't done it, because I don't need like people buying stuff for me left and right. You guys have already helped me. You helped me get the sewing machine that I'm using now, and it has maintained my sanity in these crazy and uncertain times. And I appreciate every single one of you, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like asking for people to do stuff for me. You know, like
Well, it's not
I'm the one
really
that
that.
wants to do things for others.
That's not really asking. It's just putting it out there.
Yeah, but if I put it
Yeah.
out there, I know there are people in the community that care about me and want to do nice things for me. So if I put it out there, then someone's going to do it, and then I'll feel bad because it feels like,
Yeah.
asking indirectly. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah,
I
making
get
sense,
what
I
you
don't-
mean,
I don't
but
agree,
yeah,
though.
I'm with Mage that, you know, if you're doing it passively, if you're just putting the link out there and you're not really asking, then that's, you know, up to whoever actually has money to be able to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll come up with a wish list with like some fabrics and
Yeah.
Well,
if you
you know,
sewing
if you need a hand setting it up so you don't dox yourself, I can help you with that.
Okay, I appreciate
Kitty,
that.
it's like I said about the Patreon here. You know, that's I've never asked people to go to the Patreon. I just, you know, I created the link on there to reserve my name on the site.
Yeah, I did the same.
know,
I
and-
have
yeah,
a
now I've got-
Patreon.
Yeah. And
But
so-
I don't use it. Like, I don't promote it. I just didn't want someone to pretend to be me
Yeah.
if I did start making more content, because I wouldn't want someone in the audience, like, because I have friends in this community, and I wouldn't want anyone to be taken advantage of thinking they were doing something for me when they weren't. So,
Yeah.
like, I reserved my name on there just to have it, and I made a couple of tiers because I was like, well, I might use it someday.
I might
But
have to do that with my Gurns Happen channel just in
yeah,
case.
you should. You should.
that way
But
you
yeah,
can't have an imposter.
I didn't even set up tiers on mine. I don't have anything set up there.
And I never
Although
really. Go ahead.
I was meaning to set up tiers because, you know, I know I'm never going to have like 10,000 subscribers. So I figured that all I really need is one person to subscribe at the $1,000 a month level, and I'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't really plan to actually make any money off of that channel or even monetize it anyway. Unless I can get to the point where I can actually get off of disability, that idea is dead in the water.
Yeah. Okay, well, Kitty, you take care of your family. We will see you.
Yes, I will see you. I'll
Yeah,
check
and-
the schedule for who's streaming when, for the Christmas stream, and even if I can only pop in for like 30 minutes to an hour, I will make it a point to stop by and say hi to everybody.
Well, and I always say to everybody, if you can get some decent sleep, that's going to be more important than anything I'm doing.
Yeah, I haven't been sleeping because he's been having coughing fits at night that have made him ill. So then I have to clean that up, and so I didn't
Mhm.
sleep well last night.
It says 1:32.
Where? No, it's 3:28. Or you mean 2 hours and 12 minutes? For how long the?
3:28.
Yeah, it's 3:28. All right.
Okay.
I love you guys, and I will catch you later.
Oy, bega. Oh. Excuse me.
Everybody yawning.
Well, they say it's contagious.
Get everybody, get the whole chat yawning now.
I'd have to have the animated avatar so you could see me yawning, huh?
Yeah.
That would be the one thing that I'd like if I had some money for my channel. Actually be able to pay for some artwork. I got a lot of ideas of things I'd like to have, but unfortunately, I don't have the money to pay anyone, and I don't have anything that I can trade over the internet for it.
Well, with my Gardens Happen channel, what I'm basically doing is I have I set up a a wish list where it's just a repeat buy kind of thing, where it doesn't remove the item from the list after someone puts in the cart. Right. So, and just that's going to be how if anybody wants to support my channel, that's how they can do it. Is just send me supplies. Because I can't really take money at the way I'm currently situated.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I have to deal with the paperwork on that too. And so far, it's not enough to matter.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
it's less than $20 a month, so I'm only drawing
Yeah.
out like once or twice a year.
yeah, that wouldn't matter. But if I end up, I'm just kind of thinking, okay, if this thing ends up becoming big, I'm gonna be kind
Yeah.
of screwed.
Yeah, I know what you mean because I'm on disability too. That, yeah, if it ever came out to be like $100 a month or something, that would screw things up.
Yeah. So unless I can get to the point where I can actually just say, okay, this is making enough where I don't need the disability anymore,
Yeah.
then I'll do it. But
Well, that's the problem is how do you get past that gap between $100 a month is a problem, but you need over $1,000 a month to make it worthwhile.
yeah, at least I'd say maybe 2,000, considering all the
Yeah.
extra expenses on top of taxes and all that.
Well, actually, it would be a lot more. The only reason I get by on what I do is because the Section 8 housing caps my rent at 30% of my income.
Yeah, well, I got this my house from inheritance, so through my grandmother's trust, and so I just have to pay the property taxes at the end of the year.
Well,
Which
you
is-
got taxes and you've got maintenance cost.
Yeah, maintenance cost isn't too bad right now. That comes down the line.
Well, yeah, but you got lucky with the big storm. It could have gotten to be extremely expensive all at once.
Yeah, well, there's ways I could have mitigated that, but
Well, it's also part of why the snow doesn't bother me at all anymore because one of the few advantages of living in an apartment is I don't have to shovel the snow anymore. When I had a house, shoveling a foot of snow was, a bit of a deterrent there. Then I wasn't so happy about the heavy snowfall.
oh, since I'm here looking at this, I've been looking at my X-Men fan fiction stuff, and I've been debating on something for quite a while now. Basically, I'm basically creating my own world building for this. I'm kind of taking all the elements from the comic books, the different incarnations of the comic books, different incarnations of the cartoons and movies, and just kind of combining all the ideas into one universe, and just kind of rewriting my own thing, starting from the very beginning where the X-Men team form. And I'm just kind of writing backstories for all the characters from that setting.
Yep.
And I've been going back, and what actually inspired me to do this is I didn't really like how they handled things from a story arc where they basically wiped out all the mutants. And it's from it was called Midday or Decimation. I've been just kind of thinking of how the story would have gone, if they didn't do that. That's and it kind of spiraled into this. And the thing I've been working on is should I make Iceman gay?
Mm.
I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. Because
I don't know. If you go back to the original comics, you might have had a problem convincing some people he wasn't.
Well, in the comic books, they retconned him to be gay.
Okay, that was after I stopped following it.
But the thing is, the way they handled doing it was really piss poor. So if I was to do it, I want to do it more closer to the beginning of where he's first introduced and change how it was handled. I've never really decided as to whether I should or not.
Yeah, a thing on Twitter yesterday brought up brought up a character I created for a Transformers fanfic I did back around 1988. It was something I hadn't thought about in quite a few years. Basically, I had a character that was literally made from junked cars on Earth.
Nice.
Oh, sort of a Junkion.
Yeah. Yeah, I even called them salvage.
Not bad.
It was actually hard to come up with a good name that wasn't already used.
The basic backstory for Bobby Drake, it's Iceman, was he develops these mutant powers, and his father is like heavily bigoted towards mutants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy, so his family, who does know, kind of hides it from his father. But one day he's being bullied, and he accidentally lets his power slip, which scares the shit out of everybody. He gets the cops on him, and he panics and runs, and he becomes a runaway, which is where Xavier and all them pick him up. That's the general backstory of how he ends up joining the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I followed the comics from the late 60s through the 80s. Around the 90s, I really didn't. I kind of fell out of following comics at that point. I never really was into the X-Men as much anyway.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites, so.
Yeah, just the X-Men in general just wasn't one that I was really big on. My favorite one was the Defenders.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was always my favorite character.
He's a cool character.
And I love the concept of Valkyrie. That she had the greatest secret identity ever. Whatever had given her her powers had erased her memories, so she honestly had no idea who she was before that point.
That is a good one.
It was also an interesting way for them to avoid giving her an origin story.
Yeah.
Because she had no idea what had happened. She just woke up like this.
Kind of like what they did with Wolverine at first.
Yeah.
His mind's basically completely wiped from the point of having the experiment of having the adamantium fused to him.
Yeah. Well, so much of the Defenders was centered around Doctor Strange getting Hulk and Submariner to work together instead of trying to kill each other all the time.
In the comic book here, they have Bobby Drake, actually a young Bobby Drake. He's they're from an alternate reality past. They're brought the old X-Men team back into the present to show Cyclops from that timeline and where he went wrong. Cyclops went all evil for a while there.
Yep. I remember a story arc with that about Cyclops kind of freaking out on people.
Yeah, so Beast basically he went back in time and got their younger selves and brought them into the present, and they have this character here as doing. I salute our professor's unbelievable hotness, and they have the young Jean Grey going, Bobby, what? Come over here, what? Why do you say things like that? What about magic hotness? As she is. No, I know, and believe me, she knows. But what? Come on. What's happening? Bobby, you're gay. And that's how they retconned him into being gay. Basically, people claiming Jean Grey basically mind wiped them into it. Or at least it came across that way. And then
see, that was what I mean, that even in the original comics, I kind of got that.
Yeah, there's been the people who have thought about it for a while, and in fact, they've even joked about it for a while.
Well, it was one of the things that, like, in the comics in the early 70s, it's like all the X-Men were, drooling and tripping over themselves to try and impress Jean. And Iceman didn't seem to get why they were doing that.
Though I was thinking with my recons too, or how I would handle it would be much more early on. You could have Jean Grey confronting him about it, seeing as she's got the whole telepathy thing. She can
Yeah.
read his mind, but he doesn't just suddenly 180. He like they did in the comic.
Yeah.
He goes on. I was thinking, okay, he goes out on a date with some girl, and and finally after the end of the day, he's like, okay, I just can't do this anymore. And he decides to actually come out to the rest of the team, on his own terms.
Yeah.
That's how I would handle it if I was to rewrite that.
Yeah, it definitely would have been better. If you go out with a girl and you're more interested in her outfit than her body, you might be gay.
But I don't have to go in that direction. I could always just keep him the wisecracking, always hitting on everybody in the world kind of character too. So it works either way. But like I said, I kind of go back and forth on it. And also being if he's gay and he's a mutant with a highly bigoted father, and that's a nice double whammy I can play off of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like multiple things that he's got to keep hidden from his own father.
Yeah.
And also the question that, okay, if the rest of his family knows he's a mutant, but maybe they don't really accept if he's gay.
Yeah, that's another thing I could do.
Oh, I've been going through the process of that myself, of coming out to everyone now, and now I think it's pretty much out to everyone because one of my aunts has leaked it before I was finished telling everybody. So at this point, I'm sure that it has pretty much gotten through everyone who lives in that town up in Michigan by now.
Well, if I need to let everybody in my family know something, I just tell the loudest person in the room, and that takes care of it.
Well, I was making the phone calls and trying to come out to everyone to prepare them because Sloth Girl and I are going to go up there to my sister's for a little Christmas, January 6th. So I basically want everybody to be aware of it before they saw me in a dress. So, my aunt leaking it actually really did me a favor. It actually made it easier than for me calling the last few aunts. But this will be interesting because so far, it's only my 3 brothers that have actually seen me. And yeah, we'll see what happens with the rest of the family. Actually, all in all, coming out has gone better than I expected with most of them. I still have the one sister who seems to think I'm going to change my mind. But a couple of them, yeah. Well, actually, one of the most common responses I got coming out to my friends was, "I'm not surprised." And actually, even one of my sisters said that, so. Which is fine. I've always tried to be open with people. I've never really tried to hide anything about me. First of all, it's too hard to keep track of who I have or haven't told, so it's easier to just tell everybody. And if people don't like it and don't want to talk to me, that's their choice. I don't really care.
Oh,
If they'd rather not talk to me because of something like that, then they're probably not somebody I want to spend time with.
That's true. Oh, and another fun little tidbit on the whole X-Men thing. I was running the numbers on and number of mutants that were in that world.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, if before they decided to genocide the mutant population 5 times over, the numbers actually he came out to roughly the same number of trans people there are in real life, as far as we've been able to calculate.
I would not be surprised if that was intentional. It's
No, I don't think that was intentional, considering where I was pulling these numbers from.
okay. Well, I just know that Marvel Comics was always big, and that really was the whole X-Men thing from the '60s was an analogy to racial divisions.
Yeah, that's only one of the things I like about the X-Men is they're fairly uniquely qualified to tell those kind of stories without having to just beat you over the head with the social political messaging.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've been going about 2.5 hours here, so
All right.
we should probably wind this down. Sloth Girl had mentioned earlier she needed my help with something. She said it wasn't urgent and it could wait till I finished here, but I should go up and see what that was about.
All right.
Okay, so Mage, you got anything?
Well, I would recommend that people keep an eye out on Student Dr. Ben's and stream. I'll post down a link here if anybody want to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Now, yeah, we're gonna find out where the young fella's gonna go.
Yes, he's getting matched. It's match day.
He's
Yep.
already matched. He already knows, but he's
Yeah, he
gonna let
already
us
knows.
all know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he
so
was saying about what city they're going to send him to.
So that stream says it's going to be going live in about 5 hours. So that's something to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
My future plans for my garden channel. I don't really. It's kind of up in the air for next week. I'm not really quite sure. I'm gonna probably just slap something together because I'm gonna want to focus more on this end of the year. Your video I want to work on. It's gonna be kind of a review of everything I've done, and maybe some Q&A and stuff.
Cool.
So
It's gonna keep selling for a while here, I think.
Okay. Yep, well,
Occupy my time.
So
I'm working on getting things together for the Christmas marathon, which is going to wind up running from 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve until 5 a.m. on Boxing Day, so that we cover it all the way around the world.
Well, I can see what I can do to pitch in on that.
Well, yeah, even people who aren't up to actually hosting a stream, where everybody's always going to be looking for people to be on the panels to, just help keep the conversation going.
Sure.
So
and
just jump in whenever.
I'm also seeing a post by Bimilzebub about Alex is minus 300 and with the bank overdraft fees keep putting them further down. Could anyone help?
Yeah, I saw that. Unfortunately, my finances have been crippled by the fact that I've had to make 3 long trips in the past 2 months and gearing up for another one.
I'll just put the information for PayPal and Venmo in here too.
Yeah.
For that. If
That's
anybody wants to help out, go do that. Or anybody can, I should say.
Yep.
Okay,
right.
I think that's about all I got to say.
Okay, well, I just
See
want
y'all.
to thank my supporters here. Mage here sent me a nice little Christmas gift, a Lego dragon I'd been wanting.
Yeah, I tried to send everybody I had access to an Amazon wish list too. So
Yep.
There'll be more gifts going out to some people.
Yep, and Skids Crasher sent me dropped me some more money on PayPal. It's always helping me out. So, and Kitty, even though she's having enough trouble with her family, has been supporting us here. And my other Patreon supporters, Robert X, Lavender Lady, Greg Hartwick has always been generous with everybody in the community. Dog and Vonrek. Appreciate all of you helping me keep things going. I just renewed the StreamYards for another year, so
Yay.
basically I can keep doing this until next Thanksgiving without there really being any expenses outside paying my internet bills. So we will bid you all a good day. Oh, Carol just came in. Hey, Carol, hi and bye.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.